Hello and welcome to game 36 on my cat-judged road to 1000 and experiment in overthinking, underperforming and being publicly reviewed by my cats. You are hearing my voiceover again because again I didn't even just forget to switch on my microphone, I forgot to actually put it on. But we will have the review later with the original voice. So let's see. Yeah, I was still pretty down from the previous games. But then also the stakes weren't really high at this point. We were well out of reach of the 800s, so I could just relax and play a game, hoping for a normal game for once. At least the opponent is starting with d4, so I can try and start my Caro-Kann, which is looking good so far. Regular moves. I had been playing Blitz like a lot more games, not a lot, but quite some more games. And I was hoping that this would help me a little bit with speed. I'm still 200, 300 in Blitz, but I have to say the quality is pretty good at that level. I don't know what's going on there, but it's interesting and it's much more fun. I'm getting much more normal games. But this game is also at least not looking like a game where they just want to trap me in the first 3 moves. I was already kind of out of book here. This is technically still my normal Caro-Kann, but I completely forgot the regular moves. I was also super tired today. I didn't sleep a lot. I went to bed way too late and then didn't get enough sleep in the morning. So I guess my memory wasn't at its best. But this still looked more or less regular. I was just then now getting confused about pawn or knight or bishop because all of a sudden I didn't know how to get them all out. Because now I put the knight there, where do I go with my bishop? So we'll have to check because I still don't remember what technically the best move is, but I was deciding that if need be I could fianchetto, maybe, but for now I was still okay, not too worried about the structure. White is looking already quite weird. I didn't know why they hadn't taken my bishop with a queen and instead doubled their pawns. I guess that was not the best choice for them. So now they are taking both of my knights from 2 sides. I'm still not worried because everything is protected. But I was thinking about what is the best move. I was thinking of kicking one of the bishops maybe out with the pawn, like either the A or the H pawn. I don't remember what I did, so we will find out together. Yeah, I was looking at this angle now again because I was trying to see if they could protect, if I could get the bishop with this move, because they would have to protect or move their king. I thought I had considered all the options, like they can move the pawn or they could move the knight to d2 and then I would grab their bishop. I was feeling quite confident. And I had not factored in that they could also do c3. So this meant I could not take the bishop right away. I was still not mad. I think it was still okay to go there, but I just hadn't factored in this move, which took away my dreams of taking their bishop. So then I was trying to figure out how I can further develop. I wanted to see if I could give my bishop some space and was therefore looking for some nice place for my knight and decided on f5. It was protected by a pawn, which should be okay, and my bishop had some places to go to. I was specifically looking at b4 for my bishop, just because of this nice diagonal. But since they decided to grab my knight, I felt like I had to take back first. I see my heart rate is quite high, over 100 at this stage of the game. That's quite a bit up. Yeah, so I was still considering my options, what damage I could do with both my queen and the bishop on that diagonal up there. I don't know why I was drawing the arrow for the knight to d4, because right now it would not be protected there. But I don't remember what my exact thoughts were. So I was trying to calculate all the options, what can they do with the pawns if I go up. But I was still waiting for their move first. So they brought in the queen, which I thought was still not bad for my plan. So this was still my target, maybe even more so. I really just wanted them to chase away the knight and get this little pin, if possible. But I was somehow worried that I don't have enough power with the queen in addition, because I was calculating b4, and then I get attacked by the pawn on a3, and then I take the knight, and then they take back with the pawn, and then I couldn't follow up after that. So it would just be an exchange instead of winning something nice. So I felt like maybe I should bring in my rook to take away the pawn on b2, and then maybe execute my plan. So they saw this threat, so they pushed their pawn so I couldn't take that pawn. However, that still gave me room to bring up my bishop, because now that bishop wasn't a danger anymore if I take the knight on c3. So that's what I did, and it was a great move. Pebbles seems excited about this one. So I was feeling pretty good about the setup. Like my structure was looking okay. I felt like I hadn't castled yet. I do think I had thought about it in between, but I felt like the opportunity was just too nice up there. But other than that, my pawns look quite nice, except for maybe the a pawn, which is a little bit isolated. But everything else quite decent. Material is equal, but overall I would have thought I'm in a better position. So they're thinking I am up in time for a change. It happens now and then in this rating, so I'm always happy about that. I did also feel like I played faster than normally, but it's always hard to tell. I always check the actual times later. So they castled, which protected their king, of course, so they were also able to remove their queen from the threat. I still had my eyes, of course, on the rook. I thought I would get the rook at least, but then they moved their queen and now they were attacking my rook. So I had to think a little bit, because I wanted to see if this could be better than just kind of an exchange, or like there really was this back rank threat as well, because if they take my rook, then they also give check. So I couldn't just take back the rook, so I had to do something about the rook. So either I move my rook, which very likely I would have to do, but I would then be losing the opportunity to take the rook on a1 with my bishop. So I was a little bit sad about that, but good for them that they found this move. I didn't see it. I thought I had the rook for sure. This happens so often that I'm very, very certain that I win something with a specific tactic, but then there is some way out and I just don't see it. So I was thinking here for quite a while, calculating the options of moving which piece first. I was considering protecting the rook with my queen or bringing up the rook. I think I was thinking about moving the queen to protect the rook for quite a bit, but then I wasn't sure if I should kind of keep that danger, because I think whenever you need to protect something, you might forget about it later and move the piece and then it's gone. So I wasn't quite happy with that option. So I think in the end I was mostly considering moving my rook. But then I had an idea, which I should have seen before. I could just castle, which I should have done anyways. So I was looking at this as a way to protect my rook and of course bring my king to safety. So I was very happy I saw that. I don't even know if this was the best move in that position. I have to double check. I did of course do the review, but I don't remember if this was a best move or if there was some other option. So now it was their turn again, so I was expecting them to move their rook somewhere now that they had the opportunity. And I was already looking at some other options like attacking their bishop. I thought the bishop was trapped there. Like seriously, something is wrong with my vision. I did not see, for example, d8 for them. I just saw all the other places where I could take them. Oh no, they actually did not have a... No, they were trapped. But now they just moved the rook first, which was expected. So I was then again looking at trapping the bishop maybe, or taking the pawn, because I was also still looking at bringing up my queen and just cleaning up the pawns over there, and then once it's clean enough, bringing up a rook alongside the queen. So that was my main plan, have a queen and a rook on the second rank. Let's see what I actually landed on. So I was going back to my idea of the bishop because I didn't want to miss this opportunity if I have it, and the pawns weren't going to run away on the second rank, so I didn't feel like I would be missing out on something. So I felt trying to attack the bishop might be a nice thing. I think I was a little bit worried what happened if they go to f6 then with their bishop, and I have to use my g-pawn to take the bishop and then having the king exposed like their own king. So I was worried a little bit, but I felt it should not be a big danger. So I did decide on h6 and then waiting for their response. I think it took them a bit to make that decision. So we're still good on time here. We have equal time as the opponent. I'm yawning like every 30 seconds. So yeah, so I was still looking at my other options to attack the king in some way. Apart from the back rank, I was also considering this diagonal towards the king, taking this pawn, for example, which is protected by the knight, and the knight in turn is protected by the pawn. So I thought this could be some option, and then bringing the queen to c5 to have a little battery. I think I did notice that it wouldn't just work yet, because the rook is still protecting f2, but I still thought it could be a nice idea. You could still maybe chase away the rook some other way. So that's the nice thing about opponents taking their time to think, because it does also give me time to think about my next move, and then I don't need to spend all of that time on my own time. I remember what they did next, but I also remember that it took them quite some time. Yeah, so they decided to attack my rook. At first I thought, oh no, I have to move my rook somewhere because they're attacking it. I didn't consider this. They got away. After all, it wasn't trapped. But then luckily, in the last second, I noticed that my knight is in fact attacking the bishop, and the bishop was trapped. They did not have any place to go. So I took it, and now I had 6 points material advantage, which made me feel relatively confident, or at least gave me a good feeling that I have a good chance to maybe win this, or at least have a good game. So now my plan with taking the pawn on d4 with the bishop was a little bit further away, because my knight wasn't in the right position anymore. But I first needed to see anyways what my opponent is going to do. I was quite happy about the time situation though. And I'm still wondering if the blitz games really help, because I'm mostly playing those blitz games to first of all make faster decisions, and second to see if I can improve my board vision or recognizing patterns better if I get a lot more games in through blitz, because obviously with 30-minute games I only get the 1 game per day in, and maybe that will not even always possible, because it does take quite some time. But I think I will continue with the blitz games just to see if this helps with the decision making. So I decided to bring my knight back to its position to maybe again do that little plan with taking the pawn. I noticed that they were preparing, I actually don't know if I noticed it now, but they were preparing to attack my king. But I don't know if I saw it already or after the next move. So I still just took the pawn for now. I still liked the diagonal. Also, it was attacking the f2 pawn. And of course, still I could reach the other pawns on the second rank. However, again, I think I noticed that they were trying to attack me on the G file. So my bishop was actually nicely positioned there, because for now I had my knight, my bishop, and of course last resort my king to protect G7. And I wanted to make sure it stays that way. But I still had my queen to move around freely, and I still had the second rook, or actually both rooks, but at least one rook, to maybe get up there and do some damage or do some attacking. Still a time advantage. And I don't remember what they did. Maybe they brought down their rook to prepare doubling them up. That is quite likely, because again, if I didn't notice until now, I definitely noticed after the next move that they were preparing to get to my king. But I wasn't too worried. Yeah, so they were preparing to double up. So now I couldn't get to the f2 pawn. I could still get to the a2 pawn, but I think I was being careful. I'm saying that. I don't know why I did this, but obviously I blundered my queen again. You don't see any reaction from me, but I swear to you, I saw it like right after I moved it there. So it's not that I didn't notice after I moved it. But yeah, that's just what I do. I just blunder my queen in every second game now. It's getting worse. Like, I started this journey and I think I did it like every fourth, every fifth, every second maybe game. Now I'm doing it every second game. But yeah, my main concern was I just wanted to keep my protectors on g7, and for some reason I didn't see that my queen was being attacked where I put it. So I was, of course, again, no reaction from me, because I had seen what was happening. I had kind of hoped that maybe they don't see it because they were maybe too focused on their attack on the g file, but they did, of course. And then I was almost ready to give up again, because I couldn't quite see a good next move at first. I did see that they only have a 2-point material advantage, so that was slightly encouraging, and I think this is what turned me around to keep playing. And then I thought, this file is actually not too bad, so I can push up my pawn, have the rook there, so maybe it's not too bad. And it gives me something to do, because I wanted at least to have a plan if I wanted to continue without my queen. So I decided on that. Also, it gave my king a little bit more mobility to get out of the way if they should continue attacking on the g file. My heart rate is actually super relaxed now after I lost my queen. I think it's always when it feels most hopeless, like stakes are low and there's nothing to fear anymore. So I needed to get my bishop out of the way, so my first idea was e5 to give a check to the king. I don't know why I hesitated, maybe because the pawn on the f file could attack me, and then I felt like attacking the rook might be a nicer thing, because, no, why did I think that? Maybe I just to attack. No, I had a further plan than just attacking the rook, I think. Yeah, because there's also f3 for my knight. Which, here you see my brain messing up again, because for some reason my brain messed up where the king is. So I thought, oh no, I'm just attacking the queen and I'm not attacking the king. And then I wasn't sure if this is the best move, but then I noticed, oh no, it is actually a proper fork. So here we go, most likely winning back our queen. At least this is what I thought, and I didn't see any way of them protecting their queen. So technically this was it like 2 or 3 moves before winning my queen back? So just waiting to see whether they decide to go with the king. I have a 4-minute advantage and I'm taking the queen, and now we're back and I have 8 points material advantage. So now I was being attacked quite a bit, so my bishop is attacked twice indirectly through both of the rooks, but I found this nice little spot where my bishop is safe and where I also protect my knight, so very happy about that one. And then I think my overall plans were mostly just maybe pushing up my pawns and trying to get a queen, because my pawns are looking quite nicely. Here's my bishop, unprotected. but then I found a nice spot for it where it protects my bishop and it attacks the rook again. And if they move their rook to the wrong place, there might be some opportunities. But in any case, I was mostly thinking about starting to push pawns at some point and getting the rooks maybe in some position to attack. So let's see what they do. They were probably looking for the best place for their rook. So here they weren't attacking me directly, but they were still kind of targeting my bishop, so I couldn't move my knight. I really wanted it to get to this nice f2 spot to give another fork, but I wanted to keep the configuration as is because currently this was looking good, so I was starting to move my pawn. This gave me opportunity to take the b pawn, which I was happy about. This was extra protecting my bishop as well. And now they make this nice mistake, because nothing changed for me, like nothing is further threatened, but I forgot. This is a missed opportunity because I forgot my little fork. So I moved the rook to get to the f pawn, I guess, and then maybe bring in my second rook. But yeah, I missed an opportunity there. I'm 5 minutes above them, and because they moved their pawn, I gained attention back towards the fork. If they hadn't moved the pawn, I don't know if I would still have forgotten the fork, but because they moved the pawn, I was reminded that this actually existed. So I took the fork, second king fork, first time getting the queen, second time getting a rook. So now I was feeling very, very confident. This should not be losable anymore. Grab the rook. And now my opponent resigns. All right. Let's dive into the analysis. I noticed again during the game that I had not even just forgotten to switch on my microphone, but even to put on my microphone. That's the first. So you will probably have heard my voiceover again because I don't want to skip this game because of that. And because it's a win, so we need some success stories here. So let's have a look. It was clear that we wouldn't make it back into the 800s. Also, it was a lower rated player. So I still have at least one game to win, net win, to get back into the 800, but that's not even the goal anymore. Let's just try to play good chess. I hope I did decent today, apart from that tiny blunder which reset the queen blunder counter. This is the most frustrating thing. Like, I really have to write down how many times I actually managed games without a blunder. I am at game 36, I think I said. And our longest streak was 7. That should tell us everything already about how often I blunder my queen. But yeah, but time usage. I was very proud of this today. Let's see, how much time did I have left? I spent 20 minutes on 30 moves. Is that good? Kind of. I mean, sometimes I don't know if I was thinking less or if my opponent was just thinking longer, because I get them now every now and then. But let's stop babbling and just let's get into the analysis. So 87.9% accuracy. This is awesome. I think, especially for a game of this length, and considering that I blundered my queen. So I hope this was my only big mistake. I see some other colorful points here, but let's see. So 2 grades for both of us. 10 best move. Oh, they only had 1 best move. Okay, I guess they were losing a lot of points with these good moves, which aren't good. And then maybe I made some good stuff with the best moves. This makes me very proud to see a lot of those. And I really only had the 1 queen blunder apparently. No misses, no mistakes, and even no inaccuracies. Wow, I should play more blitz to practice. It might. Oh wow, look at this. 1502 grades. I actually had this in one of my blitz games today. Maybe even down to the accuracy, maybe not the exact, but I definitely was in the high 80s. I definitely had those 2 grades for opening and middle game, and it was something 1000 something, but I don't know if it was 500 or 200 or something. But that's interesting. So I still babble way too much. So my Caro-Kann. Does Anna actually save this? Yeah, that's a solid continuation of the Caro-Kann. Yeah, because I already forgot at this point what I should technically do. Taking was good. This was for free. I didn't see this. But sometimes I don't know if I should do this and just expose my knight, but I could just go back again, I guess, and still have this pawn. Yeah, I didn't see that they can protect with this. I only saw this, and I think I missed this before. I maybe saw this, but I didn't see this, which ruined things a little bit because it was protecting this bishop. So that was the best move. Nice. I forgot why I did this actually. Oh, because I wanted to get my bishop out. Yes, I remember. They brought their bishop here. They wanted me to bring my bishop out already. Why did I? Because I had this, of course, in my mind. I forgot why I was pushing this first, because I was debating between the 2 moves. Maybe because I thought they now have too many, so if I go here they can take here, then here, then here. Yeah, I think I wouldn't win just yet anything. But then they made this mistake, and then I was able to go. So this is the first grade. So I could still take. Oh, this wasn't even the best. They wanted me to castle first. Yeah, because I didn't see this move. And this wasn't even the best move. I would have thought this is a pretty good one. They were just supposed to go here. But then I would just have grabbed the rook. Here I had to do something first. And I was thinking for a long time before I saw that I could do this. And they wanted me to move my king. I would never ever consider this at this stage. Never. Move the rook. I also saw this pretty late, I think, that I could take with the knight. I mean, not too late, but that was definitely good. They wanted me to go here, I guess, to attack the queen, but I still, I think I wanted it back here to, I think, still have this kind of configuration, but then they moved, and then maybe also bring in this queen here, something like that I still had in mind. But yeah, I didn't. That this is why I was not considering the option of attacking the queen here. This was best. Yeah. Why do I keep doing this? Again, I also did this in Blitz today. Just really setting it in front of the other queen. And not even like sometimes I think I'm attacking the queen and I forget that they can re-attack. I think I was there something coming down? Like, was this never open, this spot? Because I was thinking about this move for such a long time. Maybe I was first considering this because I just wanted to get on this rank to maybe grab some pawns here. But the thing is, the game was still equal even though they took my queen. And I also saw that they only have like 2 points advantage. I was of course considering giving up again at this point, but then I saw that it's not that much material, so I just wanted to try. This was a blunder, did I? Yes, yeah, I was looking forward to something like this. At first, I again had this weird brain mess where I thought my knight can only go here or something, and I missed this, but yeah, luckily saw this. So I got the queen back, which made me very happy. Also attacking the rook here at the same time again. This was their best move because I guess they had this pin. Because they were attacking my bishop here and they were kind of attacking it through this as well. But yeah, I found this where both were protected. Attacking the rook again. Yeah, all just okay moves here. And then they gave me another. Yeah, I guess the fork was there before, right? Yeah. I noticed this. When I made this move, I noticed that I had missed this fork and I was really worried they would move their pieces. I think a slightly higher rated person would have moved their rook, but they left it for me. So I took, again attacking this other rook as well. Oh, here they gave up. Yeah, I got a little bit lucky here. I think that the configuration always kind of worked out with the pieces protecting each other. This was not my plan, of course. You know, I'm not good enough to really plan this, but they couldn't take my bishop because my knight was again in the right place. So this worked out quite nicely, but I think it's a lot of luck involved. I'm not sophisticated. All right, so we got a win in again finally, which is nice. Also some nice accuracy, which makes me happy. And this is a pretty picture. I like seeing stuff like that. Opponent played with 1100, so also not bad. But as I'm saying, like, these good moves are bad. They don't help you. And then we both blundered our queen. Yeah, so I just need to stop blundering my queen. But I don't know what to do. Like, I tell myself every day multiple times, but I still do it. Anyways, yeah, if you like my content, please leave a like and subscribe, and then see you next time.